Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Missy Ayu Andira. I am one of the students of English Literature, Faculty of Cultural Science, University of North Sumatra. Today I'm going to explain about neurolinguistics. So without any further ado, let's start. The first one, we go to the table of contents first. There are 4 contents in my presentation. The first one is what is neurolinguistics. The second one is different view on the relation between brain and language. The third one is human brain, and the last one is language disorder. So we jump to the first content. What is neurolinguistics? Neurolinguistics studies the relation of language and communication to different aspects of brain function. In other words, it tries to explore how the brain understands and produces language and communication. This involves attempting to combine neurological or neurophysiological theory, or how the brain is structured and how it functions, with linguistics theory, or how language is structured and how it functions. Neurolinguistics has an interdisciplinary enterprise. You can read it by yourself. Okay, so we jump to the neurolinguistics and psycholinguistics. Neurolinguistics has a very close relationship to psycholinguistics, but focuses more on studies of the brain. Studies of language and communication after brain damage are perhaps the most common type of neurolinguistic studies. However, experiments, model construction, computer simulation, and neuroimaging studies are also very frequently used methods today. Neurolinguistics is deeply entwined with psycholinguistics, which is the study of the language processing steps that are required for speaking and understanding words and sentences, learning first and later language, and also of language processing in disorders of speech, language, and reading. What distinguishes it? Psycholinguistics studies the process of language development going on in mind, but neurolinguistics studies the relationship of language with brain and explores the function of parts of brain in its development. Psycholinguistics is concerned with the cognitive faculties and processes that are necessary to produce the grammatical construction of language. Neurolinguistics is the study of the neural mechanism in human brain that control the comprehension, production, and acquisition of language. Okay, it is from the first content. We jump to the second content. It's about different view on the relation between brain and language. There are localism, associationism, dynamic localization, holistics, and evolutions. You can read it by yourself. We jump to the third content. It's about human's brain. Human brains consist of 3 parts, which are known as cerebrum in here, cerebellum in here, and brainstem in here. I will explain one by one. Cerebellum is the largest part of brain and is composed of right and left hemispheres. I will explain it later. It performs higher functions like interpreting thoughts, vision, and hearing, as well as speech, reasoning, emotion, learning, and fine control of movement. Cerebellum is located under the cerebellum, right here. Its function is to coordinate muscle movements, maintain posture, and balance. The last is brainstem. Brainstem acts as a relay center connecting the cerebellum and cerebellum to the spinal cord. It performs many automatic functions such as breathing, heart rate, body temperature, wake and sleep cycles, digestion, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, and swallowing. Okay, I know you all want to know where is the language in the brain, right? I will explain to you. The picture that you will see right now is the cerebellum. It is divided into 2 halves, the right and the left hemispheres. Each hemisphere controls the opposite side of the body. If a stroke occurs on the right side of the brain, your left arm or leg may be weak or paralyzed. The low function of the hemispheres are shared. In general, the right hemisphere is responsible for control of the left side of the body. and is the more artistic and creative sides of the brain. Meanwhile, the left hemisphere is responsible for control of the right side of the body and is the more academic and logical side of the brain. The left hemisphere is dominant in hand use and language in about 92% of people. Next content is about language disorder. So, you are probably familiar with this stressful feeling when a word is on the tip of your tongue and you just can't seem to remember. It can range from a simple stutter to a complete inability to convert your thoughts into a meaningful word or sentence. Unfortunately, certain brains injured and disease can make us feel this way most of the time. This disorder related to the damage in speech comprehension and production is universally called aphasia. Before we jump to the aphasia, first we're going to take a look at the brain's area that are collectively known as Broca and Wernicke areas. The first one is Broca. So, Broca's area, which is named after the French physician Paul Broca. Broca's area consists of Brodmann areas 44 and 45 in here, and this area is found in the frontal lobe of the dominant cerebral hemisphere and is involved in speech production, language comprehension, and speech-related gestures. Next is about Wernicke's area, or Brodmann 22. Brodmann's area, which is also known as the secondary auditory cortex, in the dominant hemisphere, this contains Wernicke's area, which is named after the German physician Karl Wernicke and is involved in language comprehension. We jump to the aphasia now. So, aphasia, which is when a person has difficulty with your language or speech. Aphasia, which is when a person has difficulty with their language or speech. Aphasia is usually caused by a stroke or brain injury, and therefore usually has a sudden onset. There are two types of aphasia. The first one is Broca's aphasia and Wernicke's aphasia. Broca's aphasia is also known as expressive aphasia, and as the name suggests, individuals or people with this condition struggle with expressing themselves. It is caused by the damage in a Broca's area, which is made up of the Brodmann area of 44 and 45. And people with Broca's aphasia know that they want to say, but they struggle to find the words which can result in slow and halting speech. However, this language comprehension is relatively preserved. Whereas, Wernicke's aphasia, also known as a receptive aphasia, involves difficulty understanding language. It is caused by damage which is found in Brodmann areas 22 in here. And these individuals can speak easily, but the words they use don't always make sense. They may also add non-existent words to their sentences and become confused when others don't understand them. And treatment, speech and language is the main mode of treatment for people with aphasia. The aim is to restore some of individuals' ability to communicate as well as provide alternative methods of communication if required. For example, people may find that they are communicate by singing instead of talking. I think that's all about my presentation about neurolinguistics. Okay, I think that's all about my presentation about neurolinguistics. I hope you enjoy my video and thank you for listening. Bye bye.